Thank you for coming to watch a video here at Sketch and Scraps. The first thing I'm going to do is delete this creepy guy. Today we're going to be drawing a porch pot planter. I think I'm going to start with a 2x2 leg. Now this material in this build will be a rough material, so full dimension. Once you draw the leg, use P to extrude it upwards. I'm going to do mine about 16 inches. Now I will make my legs a component because I want each of them to be moved in the exact same method if I do end up tweaking them going through my build. Now in order to move an object and copy it, we would hit the Control key after we're moving it. If you hold Shift to tie it to an axis and then use your pointer to reference another point, it's a lot easier to lock pieces into the proper place. Now let's check our measurements, find out what we're dealing with. So I think I'm going to try a 12-inch board here. We might adjust this because it might be a little bit too big, but let's see what it lays out. Use P again to extrude it. For now, I think I'm just going to group it so that way I can move it without sticking to other pieces as I draw. Always try to make sure you're rotating on the correct axis. I've had too many situations where I ended up wanting to rotate left and right. I end up rotating it vertical. Now we're going to pull this out to the edge here, double click inside of our group to get inside, and then fasten it to the outer edge. Control copy. These sides are a little too long. Let's go to something shorter. About 8 inches. That looks fine. Now we just need to modify each of them up. We'll just snap it to the other side here. Yeah, I really need a trim or something here in the corner. It doesn't look good. It looks just like a box, and we don't really want that. So we're going to draw a 1.5 by 1.5 inch piece here. Let's move it out here, touch it to the corner, and let's extend it downwards. Use P to pull, match it to the bottom. We're going to go ahead and make this a component. We don't want to be adjusting one on its own. We want to adjust all of them at the same time. So now just copying it around to each point, and yep, oops. Let's do that one again. There we go. And grab the wrong piece. There we go. That's starting to look like something neat. Alright, what do we need to put on the bottom here? I think we can do, well, it'll be about an 8-inch wide board if we put it between the legs. I think that's what we'll do here. Just stretch it out and we'll pull it down with 1 inch, expand it out using extrude. That looks fine to me. 2x2, then we're going to pull it out again. So P again, and component that. That's going to be inside rail. And we're just going to snap it horizontally across to the same location. Alright, so we're going to end up using a tool here a little bit later that'll quantify everything for us, and we need components for all of that. So We're going to replace each piece here, but we're going to make a component and then transfer it over. So you'll see that right there. And then we're going to be pulling this one over after we component it. I think we need to do something different here. Let's pull these down, make them flush. That looks a little bit better. We got a little lip inside and it looks flush with the bottom there. Let's color everything up. The best way to do that is just to select everything with a right to left drag. Right to left drag is going to capture anything it touches. And I'm just going to use this for mica countertop because, well, it's the only thing I found in here that looks kind of nice on these wood grain looking things. So I think these trims on these corners, they need something more. And this is why I make things a component. When I adjust one, it adjusts all of them. And I mean, it's square, but it looks a lot nicer, a little bit more depth to it. Let's see what these look like, height and lowered. I think we'll leave those the same. Now we're going to add some screws. So I want to look for some wood screws. I will look into the models. You generally have one that other people have made. Now, something I've found in the past from using these is they're filled with tons of components. And if you want to use them inside of the material cut list, I'm going to explode these so I can get rid of all those components. And I'm just going to keep exploding it until there's nothing left but the object that's been drawn. When I'm done with that, I'm going to make it a component of its own. So that way, when I color it, I don't have to individually highlight each piece. I think the reason the individual did that is so this component or this screw could be lengthened and changed into different sizes, which I understand, but for our practice, we just want the one screw in a 2-inch length. So we're going to rotate this, manipulate it, and then put it into our drawing. It's kind of a longer, tedious process, so I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'll just show you a few key points, and then after that, we'll skip to the next part. So once I have all my screws placed, I'm going to go ahead and do a cut list or a takeoff for this because I kind of want to know what all the pieces are that I've drawn here. And the easiest way is, again, highlight everything, go to my materials. Once in the materials, I'm going to select and make sure that this colored object is a hardware. I want it to show up in a hardware list. So now if you notice, I've got legs, inside trim, and my screws have a count of 30. Everything else is very well defined. Now I will export this and save it, and this is also going to be part that I would share online with you guys. But if you're creating your own models and you want something to, 1, go shopping with, or 2, have at your table while you're working on your project, this is a great way to do it. And that, friends, is the finished product. Thank you for watching this video with Sketch and Scraps.